My reflection just pointed at me, not at the mirror, at me, sitting here in the driver's seat, at a red light on an ordinary Tuesday morning. Its finger extended slowly, deliberately, with the calm precision of someone who has been waiting a long time to make this gesture, the way you point at something you're about to pick up, the way you point at something that already belongs to you. I counted to 11 before it moved. That's the delay now. 11 seconds between what I do and what it does. 11 seconds in which I apparently still exist as something separate from whatever is running on the other side of the glass. The light turned green. I drove. My hands were shaking. I need to tell you how this started, because it didn't start with pointing. It started with almost nothing at all. It was a Wednesday morning in February. I was running late for a meeting and brushing my teeth faster than usual. The bathroom was the same bathroom it had always been. White tile, one flickering fluorescent tube I kept meaning to replace. The small crack in the grout above the towel rack I'd been ignoring for 2 years. Everything familiar, everything exactly where I'd left it. Except my reflection was slow, not dramatically. Not in any way you could show someone and say, "There, do you see it?" A fraction of a second. A barely perceptible lag between my movement and its movement, like a satellite call with a slight echo on the line. You hear a voice, and a moment later you hear it again, almost matching the original, almost indistinguishable, almost. I stopped and slowly raised my right hand. My reflection raised its hand at the same speed, repeated the gesture precisely, but the repetition arrived late. Not late enough to be obvious. Late enough that I could feel it the same way you feel the wrongness of a clock that's 2 minutes slow before you consciously register the time. A wrongness that lives in the body before it reaches the mind. I told myself, tiredness, 5 hours of sleep. I went to work and didn't think about it for 3 days. On the 4th day, the delay was longer. I timed it with my phone. I'm an engineer by training. When something behaves in a way I don't have a model for, my first instinct is measurement. I stood in front of the mirror, raised my hand on a precise count, and compared timestamps in slow motion footage. 0.3 seconds. 4 days ago, it had been 0.1. Real, measurable, not tiredness, not anything that fit inside a framework I had. I called a neurologist. I described the symptom in precise clinical language. My reflection lags behind my movement by a measurable interval. I heard the specific, careful neutrality of a professional who has decided to treat what they're hearing as a perceptual issue and not engage with the literal claim. He referred me for an MRI. The MRI found nothing. That same evening, the delay was 0.7 seconds, visible to the naked eye, without ambiguity. I stood in front of the mirror and waved my hand and watched my reflection complete the wave after I had already stopped. Its hand finishing an arc through empty air while mine rested at my side, still, its eyes closing on a schedule that had decoupled entirely from mine, operating on its own clock, in its own time. I covered every mirror in the apartment except one. I kept the bathroom mirror because removing it entirely felt like a line I wasn't ready to cross. As long as I could still look at myself, I told myself, I retained some claim to being the original. I measured every morning, 0.9, 1.1, 1.3. The numbers had the quality of a countdown, though I didn't yet know what they were counting toward. The morning the delay reached 2 seconds, I walked out of the bathroom, turned off the light, and went to the kitchen to make coffee. I was standing at the counter when I registered what I had glimpsed in my peripheral vision as I left. I went back to the doorway. The mirror was showing the bathroom without me in it. The sink, the tile, the towel on the rack, the toothbrush in its holder. An empty room, no one there. My reflection was still there. It was standing at the sink, facing the mirror, holding the toothbrush, moving it slowly, automatically, the way a person moves when finishing a task they've done 10,000 times. My reflection was brushing its teeth in an empty bathroom with the lights off, continuing an action I had stopped 2 minutes ago, moving with the unhurried thoroughness of something that hadn't noticed I was gone. I watched it finish. It rinsed. I placed the toothbrush back in the holder with the precise motion I always use. That small rotation of the wrist at the end, setting it at exactly the angle I prefer. It knew that. It knew how I do it. Then it looked up. Not at me, at the space in the mirror where I would have been standing. It looked at that space and its expression changed in a way I wasn't prepared for. Not confusion, not alarm. Something more like confirmation. The expression of someone completing a calculation that has been running for a long time and finding that the answer is exactly what they suspected. Then it looked at me, not at the mirror, at me in the doorway outside the frame where I had no business being visible, directly at me with the focused, settled attention of something that has just located what it was looking for and is in no hurry now that it has. I left the apartment. I walked for 4 hours. When I came back, I covered the bathroom mirror and haven't uncovered it since. I've been thinking very carefully about the delay, about what it means in any system I know how to reason about. A delay is the gap between an input and its output, between a signal and its echo. Here's the thing about echoes. If the echo starts arriving before the signal stops, eventually the echo is all you have. The original signal becomes the anomaly, the thing that seems out of place. In signal processing, this is called precedence inversion. It is always, without exception, a symptom of a broken source. The source degrades. The echo persists. At some point, the question of which one is real stops having a clear answer. I have been thinking about which one of us is the echo. The delay is 11 seconds now. I know this because my car has a rear view mirror I haven't been able to cover. I checked it this morning at a red light, raised my hand, counted, and watched my reflection raise its hand 11 full seconds later, moving with complete precision, reproducing a gesture I had already finished and half forgotten. 11 seconds of freedom. 11 seconds in which I exist independently of whatever process is running the reflection. The window is shrinking. I've done the math. At the current rate of change, in approximately 9 days, the delay reaches 0. I don't know what happens at 0. I don't know whether I reach it or whether it does. I don't know which of those outcomes is better. I have stopped being sure which one I'm hoping for. What I know is what happened this morning. After 11 seconds, my reflection lowered its hand, and then, slowly, without any hurry, with the calm deliberateness of something that has already made its decision, it raised one finger and pointed, not at the mirror, at me, through the glass, across 11 seconds, directly at me, with the expression of something that has been patient for a very long time and is no longer concerned about the waiting. The way you point at something that was always going to be yours. I have 9 days. I'm not sure I'm the one doing the counting. And I'm no longer sure it matters which one of us is.